Welcome back to BaldHeaded Metal, guys. Uh, Welcome back to BaldHeaded Metal, guys. My name is Joseph, and today I want to react to another new band on this channel that you guys requested a while back now, and that's Ad Infinitum with the song Animals. It looks like a power metal kind of a genre style, from what I thought from the thumbnails, but we're gonna have to see what it's all about. If you're a fan of this band, just be prepared. I tend to voice my opinions, and sometimes I don't like what I hear. I try to do it in a respectful way to create interesting conversations, so you know at least where I come from. I'm not coming from a negative kind of a standpoint. It's more of the best that I can to analyze how I feel about a particular song in this particular moment. With that in mind, let's get into the reaction. And by the way, guys, if you do enjoy this kind of content, make sure to subscribe down below for more. I try to release also podcasts and album reviews, as well as album recommendations, and just kind of podcast style conversations as well on this channel. Without any further ado, let's get into the music video. Was I right about the power metal, or was that not right? Or maybe like symphonic power metal.
Not afraid of the monster in you. I heard the stories and I hope they're true. Adrenaline is calling my name. No hesitation.
Well, I mean, right away, her voice is nice. She has a nice, beautiful kind of a poppy-ish voice, but a beautiful voice. Not to mention, she's easy on the eyes as well. But I am already having a feeling, if anybody who's come to this channel a lot know that I do like power metal, but I'm extremely picky when it comes to power metal, when it comes to heavy metal, traditional metal, new wave of British heavy metal. I tend to be very picky with those genres. It's much easier to grab me with thrash, death metal, melodic death metal, or like black metal, something like that. Extreme metal in general. But with that in mind, I haven't made a judgment yet. There's no judgment call as of yet. Let's see how it progresses. It's just the beginning.
I'm still waiting, and for the first time I will feel alive. Offer me a world of shadows and a tide. We are hunting for another sun, but for another prey. Losing ourselves, but danger is rushing through my veins. Offer me a world, your thirst for immortality. We are animals.
Yeah, there's like moments. I like moments in this song, but so far, it's just not up my wheelhouse. Mainly because almost half of the song is gone and not much has happened. Uh, the thing that's leading the whole music with this particular band so far is her voice and kind of her presence, almost like Arch Enemy. A lot of times she kind of at least leads the band, or this kind of certain characters that they're the frontman is the life of the band. But from a musical standpoint, in terms of interesting riffs, interesting melodies, so far that is not much. And again, perhaps that's not the best representation of the band, but it tends to be with a lot of power metal, which is why I kind of skip over it. Or it goes to the other extreme, becomes like super neoclassical, like something, for example, keep using Yngwie Malmsteen, but there's other bands as well as they become too extreme. Dragon Force, you know. But let's keep going. Let's see again. Let's see what we got.
Unleash the rage, the fury. My primitive and my wildest instincts. Get rid of all the complications. Your paradoxes, all frustration. The meaningless is no longer welcome now. Offer me a world.
Yeah, I think it's kind of I don't want to use the word juvenile because that would kind of really be a little bit harsh, but it's very basic songwriting. There's not much going on with this particular song. Nothing too much to grab onto. As a matter of fact, I think even in the music video, they're leaning a little bit too hard on the fact that she's a beautiful young lady, and I think they might be underplaying her talents here because of that. Because I feel like, especially like teenage boys are going to be drooling over her, or younger girls might just like look up to her how pretty she is. But she's also, I think she's talented, despite the fact that this band might not be for me. The musicians themselves, I'm sure, again, to be able to get a record deal and play, you have to have some form of a talent, but they're not displaying it in this particular song. I would like a little bit more. For example, Nightwish does so much more with their music, or Epica really does so much with their music. And this Liliac, another example where it's music first and all the visuals come second. Where here it just something doesn't click. Well, let's see this kind of part coming up here. I guess it's going to be a big shot of her half naked.
Offer me a world of shadows and eternity.
By the way, I did like her like little growl that she was doing. That was cool. It's nice to see that breaking her soft voice into something like this. I thought that was a nice change up for the song. Again, maybe a solo is going to come up.
Hunting for another sun, for another prey. Losing yourself in danger is rushing through my veins. Only you hold your thirst for immortality.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I get the point, to be honest. How can I say it, guys? I've always been telling myself for a while now that this hasn't happened to metal yet. And this is only one of the examples. There's been a couple examples already that you guys recommended to me that you guys enjoy yourselves, but you can see commercialism has entered heavy metal in a major kind of way. Where I remember like the 70s and 80s, every metal musician was like this dorky, nerdy, or kind of a outsider kid who wanted to play rebellious music. I'm not saying that makes it automatically better, but just the kind of the visual image that was there. They dressed in, they had long hair just to protest their parents. They wore like leather and studs and all this like spikes just to be as crazy as possible. And so they look like almost like bikers. And these like, again, outliers of society, because they were fed up with what was going on in the world, especially with the messages were a lot of very politically charged music. And the introduction of something like hair metal, which commercialized heavy metal in such a big way, right? I believe hair metal was like the first big wave. And then we had power metal, which I think there's some very genuine, strong bands in power metal, like Blind Guardian and, Symphony X and all these kinds of other bands. But at the same time, I think it's the most susceptible to commercialism because how accessible the music is in comparison to a lot of other genres in heavy metal. And this is just like, it's very on the surface. This music to me, and this is no disrespect to Ad Infinitum, and it's no disrespect to fans of this band. I'm just kind of telling you how I feel, what makes me feel when I watch this, is that it's very on the surface. There is nothing on offer in terms of music. It is all visual spectacle, and whatever talent is there is not really displayed. Like, I'd rather listen to Unleash the Archers than this, because Unleash the Archers has really interesting kind of self-aware, goofy kind of vibe like to it that I just like about them. And Britney, I think, is a better singer, for example. She's a more skilled vocalist, and they are more skilled musicians, at least judging based on their song. Yeah, the musicians literally just stood there. Also, I mean, for me, this is kind of where I show my age and maybe unwillingness to change. Is the guys are dressed like hipsters, and it's such a weird look for a metalhead. At least I grew up with this kind of old notion of what metalheads look like, and I know in some points you have to let that go and understand that it has evolved and changed and it has new things. Like look at Tatiana from Ginger. She doesn't look like a typical metalhead. I mean, she might have a lot of tattoos and piercings, but even then, she doesn't look like a typical metalhead. She stepped outside the realms of that and doesn't make her any less of a metalhead. So I guess I understand in that some sense it's just me and my preconceptions, but still it doesn't add to the fact that the visuals don't match up with me. I am not one of those guys. Like I'm past the age where, like I already saw in the thumbnail, they put her, the main vocalist, in a beautiful pose, and you're absolutely mesmerized by her. And well, at least you should be. And I'm sure a lot of people clicked for that reason alone. And that's it. There's nothing else, you know. Again, guys, let me know if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm judging it a little bit too harshly, but that's my raw emotion after watching this music video. Guys, let me know what you think. Let's have a discussion about it. If you do enjoy this kind of a more analytical approach to doing a reaction, I'm trying my best to kind of vary it up for us. Make sure you subscribe down below for more. And guys, make sure you enjoy the rest of your day. It should be the 1st of January, so welcome to the new year. And keep it metal, guys. Take care of yourselves.